Hello and welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic holiday season, but it's not over yet. So I think this video is going to be out just in time for New Year's, so Happy New Year. Today's video is nothing new. It's just some dogfighting the F-15, however, I did have quite a few close calls. I will be commentating over this video. Perhaps this might shed some light for some people and help them out in their dogfighting skills. So our first engagement here is against a MiG-29 who doesn't seem to be aware of our presence. As you can see at the 12 o'clock position of my radar warning receiver, there's no MiG-29 spike. The missile has just gone pitbull over here, and we're going to see him break right to our right. And there he goes, right there, defensive. But fortunately, it's going to be a little bit too late for him. Unfortunately for us, you see that MiG-29 spike behind us to the left. There's the missile launch, and at 40,000 feet, there's not much you can do to avoid that missile. I'm panicking, but I'm spamming the living Christ out of chaff, and thankfully, somehow, it misses. And I'm struggling really hard to try and keep this thing as stable as possible. I don't quite know exactly where he is, which is why I'm using VSS until that second shot. And here, just a very quick roll with spam of chaff saves my life. To this day, I have no idea how that missed, but it did. Since he's in a flanker, he still has the advantage as he can shoot me at this angle, but he breaks full defensive, and that AIM-9 definitely made sure of that, which is why I shot at him. And here, with the speed brakes to make sure I'm not overspeeding, instead of climbing with him, I decided to keep my nose below the horizon and turn, because I knew he was going to make a whole full loop. So he wasted all of his energy doing that, and I'm trying to conserve as much as I can in order to get behind him, and that works out just fine right here. This little segment is a little bit funny because I look behind me and I saw that there's an aircraft back there, so I'll just do these quick maneuvers to try and have him overshoot me, which he does, and I quickly interrogate him on IFF just to make sure if that's a friend or foe, because I have no idea. But luckily it turns out to be a friendly. I'm not even sure if he knew I was there. Okay, so this part's a little bit sketchy, but it pays off if you know what you're doing. So I picked this guy up that's right in front of me, and we're heading head to head. Now he's way above me and I'm way below him. I fire one missile just to make him break defensive, or in hopes to kill him, because that was a very close shot. But instead of going full defensive on like 6 o'clock to outrun his missile that's coming at me right here, I instead place him on my 3 and 9 line and turn my jammer off in hopes that he will lose lock, which he did right here. I don't know if my missile hit him, but as you can see, his missile lost track and I was okay. And this segment is pretty much more about planning. For example, I should have planned a little bit ahead, but I got ahead of myself here and I got a lock and immediately fired at a guy. Turns out it was a MiG-21, as you can see from here, so this was a no-brainer. I'm actually pretty amazed that he flared at that point, so props to him for trying. MiG-21s have a hard time seeing behind them. The bigger kahuna comes over here, however, with this guy. Most people would have shot at this point, but seeing he's diving down and towards the mountain, that missile would have more than likely hit the mountain that's right in front of us. So since we are in a complete tail-on chase over here and there isn't anything else around us, I turned the radar off and instead I'm tracking him with my heaters. But seeing that he's going to go over this ledge, what he can do to screw me over is go dip down to the left and turn into me. Which would be a very dangerous situation, which is why I pop up, roll upside down, and look into him, and have VSS lock him up. Thankfully, he didn't go, fully into me, and he just kind of kept going defensive, and he screws up right there. So, maneuver kill. Alright, so in this segment, I got a whole bunch of enemies that's right in front of me, and I choose the closest guy, and I fire on him. I have the height and speed advantage. So I'm trying to make Data Link do its thing, and it just went pitbull over here, but either him or the guy behind him keeps pressing on me. I don't have any friendlies near me, so I think I made the wise decision of just turning away from this area, instead of pressing towards like the 3 or 4 other targets that are there. But instead of keeping my eyes inside the pit, it's always good to just, once in a while, take a look what's going on around you. Because that missile trail right there is an ET shot that was fired at me from low, and I would have never picked it up unless I was looking outside the cockpit. Chop the throttle, pop a whole bunch of flares, and maneuver. Don't rely on your flares alone, that's not going to save you. And then just escape towards safety. Alright, so this whole situation was sketchy as fuck, but there's a whole bunch of crap going on over here. I have a friendly down below me, there's a bunch of people firing missiles, and I'm just trying to keep everyone at bay, and hopefully the friendlies behind me can press in and, you know, take care of these guys as they're rolling in here. There are 2 targets right there within VID, and I shoot at this guy at least because he was the closest one. I don't think this missile ever connected, but seeing how much crap there is and someone's still pressing on me, I just decided, screw this, I'm going to turn around. And, you know, wisely so, because this missile's coming at me right around here. Since it's on a 6 o'clock position, I'm trying to bleed its energy, which is why you're seeing me do all these really tough maneuvers. And the lower you fly, the higher the chances the missile's going to miss. I have absolutely no idea whether that was a friendly or not, but if I were to turn left to try and engage him, I would have died, because the other guy is still right on my 6 o'clock, you know? So here we're back to that whole concept of look behind you and around you. That's a missile coming at me. So he fired an ET, because, well, you know, he's a flanker, that's what they do. And if he's going to fire at me, then I might as well come back and fight him head on. Yeah, you see those barrels? They save lives. I dodged 2 missiles there. And if that wasn't enough, we pick up another target, so might as well just shoot a Fox 3 on this guy. And now I think it's about time to start breaking full defensive and get away from this area. Yet again, we're back to the concept of looking outside your cockpit. My eyes were glued to the radar here, did not see this thing coming on my left right here. Holy crap. I have no idea how that missed, but a whole bunch of flares saved my life more than likely, plus the maneuver. So now it's a knife fight. So as I complete the circle here, I actually get tone, but as you can see, the sun is right in front of my eyes. If I were to fire here, there's a high chance I would probably miss because of that, so gun solution. But he's not quite dead. I thought he was going to crash right there, but only one of his engines is on fire, the other one's still running pretty nice, so time to finish the job here. While keeping in mind that you gotta do this quick, because there are guys right behind me, and they do not like me here. Now over here I ran into a very shitty situation because this guy fires at me at very close range. So I use the valleys as much as I can. Instead of running full defensive, this is where the concept of being aggressive really does win. The missile has lost track, but as I come over here, he actually does find me again, the missile. That's why you see it reacquire lock. But at this point, I'm pretty convinced that it's lost energy and is no longer capable of tracking me. So instead, I'm just going to fire off one of these, and now I want to break defensive while still popping chaff, which worked out just nicely. And I'm able to escape back home. And this clip is just for you people who keep saying that I never upload my deaths. I died quite a few times, actually, but during this whole engagement, I was trying to get back home, and I was on my last stretch of fuel and whatnot, but I did spot this one guy. Now, I turned my radar off, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be sneaky on him, right? Now, notice I'm doing 730 knots. He goes behind his hill and goes around to the right, and I was completely unaware of this concept. And now it turns into a turn fight, except I was doing 700 and something knots in that turn, and